next up is the Talking Book Library. Megan McGee and Whitney Harrison, who work here at the Talking Book Library, will be presenting for us. I think the thing that I found wonderful about the Talking Book Library was I never really expected how many people who are coming into libraries every day really can benefit from the services of the Talking Book Library. I think you would all be surprised too, how many, especially older patrons who have some visual issues, like particularly your patrons who come in and get a bunch of CD books or audio books or things like that. They may be able to benefit from the Talking Book Library. But again, I'll let Megan and Whitney explain that a little bit more in detail. So here we go.
Hi everyone. All right, I'll go ahead and share my presentation with you. Everything working accordingly. Let's see. There we go. All right, Whitney, is everything good for you?
Yep, it looks great. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's really great to see so many people here. I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe out there. So my name is Whitney Harrison. I'm a public service specialist at the Talking Book Library for the blind and print disabled.
And I'm Megan McGee, and I'm the Talking Book Library manager. Today, what we're going to do is go over just a little bit of information about what the program is and how we as library staff can use it as a resource to help patrons. So there is also a Talking Book Library in every state. So you are able to recommend this program for patrons wherever your career may take you, and in all of the county. So it doesn't just apply to certain cities, it is nationwide. And the Talking Book Library is a library service which provides reading material to anyone who is blind, visually impaired, or print disabled, which basically means anyone who can't read a traditional small print book for an extended period of time.
So the term print disabled will probably best be defined, the best definition for who the service is for. So this is a term adopted by the Library of Congress and the National Library Service in 2019 and is used to describe a person who cannot effectively read print because of a visual, physical, perceptual, developmental, cognitive, or learning disability. So in the future, you may see library patrons who identify themselves as print disabled. So this is a really good term to know. So the Talking Book Library program works through the National Library Service and is part of the Library of Congress.
And we are also hosted locally in Pinellas County by the Pinellas Public Library Cooperative. We are a program that works through PPLC, and we are here because PPLC wants the public libraries to know about the services and wants librarians to feel confident recommending it to people who qualify. So here's what every library staff should know. And these are what we're going to share with you folks today. So what to do if a blind person comes into your library, how our service works, how to sign the application, what to do if a player is returned to the library, and about our other resources.
So we want to ensure that if a blind person comes into your library, you will, be confident and able to meet their needs. So usually when we think of this, we like to follow the 3 A's. So the first A is approach. So if you suspect someone may need a hand, walk up to them, greet them, and identify yourself. It's always nice to be able to put a name with a voice. And fun fact, if they have a service animal with them, like a service dog, please don't make eye contact with or acknowledge the dog in any way. That dog is working. And if you do that, you take them away from their work. So the second is ask. So you can always ask them, would you like any assistance, and let them decide. And the third is assist. Listen to the reply and you can assist as required. Not all people who are blind or visually impaired will want assistance, so don't be offended if assistance isn't required. If they do ask for assistance, maybe they want to sit at one of the tables in the library, you're going to be able to offer it by, you can walk up next to them on the side that either doesn't have a service dog or a white cane on the other side of them, so that you're facing the same direction. You can stand a little bit in front of them and offer your elbow. Don't touch them, of course, but you can always say something like, you can take my elbow to indicate that you're ready to assist them. And then you can take them slowly to where they need to go. So these are kind of just like helpful little tips. So let's talk a little bit about how our service works. So the Talking Book Library, our service is 100% free. We have no late or lost fees of any types of material. We work through the USPS mail. We send material through the post office. We have very few people that actually come into our library. Most of our work happens over phone or on email. People call or order books online, and we send them through the mail. So we send out anywhere between 300 and 500 books every day. We also have over 100,000 titles in our collection, and we do have a downloading software or app for patrons to use, which has all of our audiobook recordings hosted by the Library of Congress. So most of our demographic are people who are homebound, whether in nursing homes, skilled nursing centers, or hospice, etc. We serve people that can't really use the public libraries anymore. We're kind of a really good next step.
Great. And so I'd also like to tell you how our patrons get their books. So in order to receive them, they can call the library and ask to speak to one of our readers advisors. We take requests, give read-alikes, and we can even look up certain titles to send to patrons. And if a patron does not know the specific title they want, we can send them automatic mail based on their favorite subjects and authors. So this means on each cartridge they receive, there will be books from their favorite genres. And also, some patrons do like to write into the library, so they send us a letter, and we fill these requests as well as requests we get by email. Finally, patrons may order books through our Talking Book Topics catalog, which is our large print catalog that comes out every 2 months. And it's a great way to see what's new. It will show all of the books that we've added to our collection in the past 2 months. We also have an online catalog for patrons who are able to use that, and it does show our complete collection. Finally, once they're done with a cartridge, they can turn the paper mail card over on the outside until it has our address, which is what you see on the left side of the picture. And then they just toss that in the mail with no postage necessary.
So let's talk a little bit about downloading books. In addition to our mail out service, we also have a download service option as well. We have 2 forms of book downloading software. So the first is called Bard Express, which you can use to download books onto a computer. And the second, more popular one is going to be called Bard Mobile, which is a mobile app version for smart devices to use, like phones and tablets. So while I don't expect you to be, experts of this technology, it is important to know it exists. And it's, always nice to have a general understanding of what it looks like, just in case someone comes into your library with a question about this. So one of the biggest questions that we get is, how do you download books onto, devices? So this is done from the Get Books tab at the bottom of the app. Once there, the screen will look like the image on the left. They should click Bard website. The image in the middle is the main page of the Bard mobile search, and the image on the left is the search results page. The image on the right is what a book looks like as it's now playing. As you can see, the book looks a lot like the Talking Book player, with a small number of buttons and a clearly distinguished play button. So this service is great for patrons with low vision who can still use a tablet or a smartphone. Many patrons also have their relatives help them to download books, and they're still able to listen on the app. So if ever someone comes to you asking a detailed question about Bard, you can always tell them to give us a call and we can help with any of their concerns. So this is just a screen recording of what it looks like to download the book in the app. So here is the screen. So what you do is you go to download or get books, you click on BARD website, it'll pull up to the search page and you just type in your search criteria. So we're looking for Where the Crawdads Sing. Go, and it will pull up the results. And you can click on add to my wish list. You can put the book on the wish list. And then from the wish list, you can go and download the book and start listening. So it is immediately downloaded. And then once it's done downloading, you can just listen away. And it doesn't go away after a period of time. You can keep it for as long as you need.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Whitney. My screen has stopped showing me what is on the screen. Would you mind telling me, are we on the application page?
Yes.
Okay, so here's how to sign the application. So to register for the library service, patrons need to fill out a 4-page application. And on page 2, they do need a certifying authority signature who can sign off that, yes, this person is a good candidate for the program. So this signature can come from a doctor, ophthalmologist, care aide, nurse, caseworker, social worker, and librarian. If someone hands you the application to sign, chances are they already know this information. So they've already maybe spoken to one of us and they have an application, and you can please feel comfortable signing that page. If it's not obvious, what their disability is or why they might qualify for this service, HIPAA laws do prevent you from asking them about their disability. So if a person is not present, or if you are unsure why they would qualify, please feel free to give the application back to them and tell them to go to one of the other certifying authorities like a doctor. So you do have options there. You can sign it yourself, or if they're not there, you can just help them understand what it says and then, have them have it certified by someone else. All right, so are these the first 2 pages of the application?
Yes.
Perfect. As you can see, the first page is basically contact information. A patron will need an email address if they want to download books. And also, they should only check one disability on page 1. Page 2 is that certifying authority page that we talked about. I did circle in red that signature line. And the signature may be typed to eliminate the need to print the application at all. So, if you're filling it out online, you don't even have to print it out. But if the signature is typed, all that contact information like title, name, organization does need to be completed. Page 3 is where you choose if you want to use the BARD downloading service on your smartphone or tablet, the physical mail service, or both. The first option is BARD only, and the next option is both. And the third option is physical mail only. One little note here is that the National Library Service really does want us to push BARD as being a really great option for a lot of people because they can download books themselves. It's kind of enabling. And you'll see the language on this page reflects that. The option for physical service only has you check a box that says, I do not own a personal mobile device. So, it's like kind of wanting you to try it if you do own one. So if a patron hears about this service from your library, at the bottom of this page, you would check the highlighted public library option for how did you learn about NLS. And finally, page 4 here is what you would do if you're getting physical service. It's how you choose how many books you want to get, what types of books you want to get, and how you want to get them through the mail, like how often, things like that. All right, so what to do if you get a talking book machine? So sometimes a patron may walk into your library with one of these devices and say, here you go. That can be a little confusing if you aren't familiar with the program. So we encourage people with this service to return their material through the mail or at their local library, which would be, any of the Pinellas County libraries. And you can send any materials. So that might be the player, it might be the books, you can send all of those back to PPLC through the courier. And if you'd like, you can even put attention talking books, just so that we can make sure to get those.
So just like our public library system, we also have a vast network of free resources that are available to our patrons. Anyone who is blind, visually impaired, physically disabled, or print disabled is welcome to take advantage of these programs. So we partner with Lighthouse of Pinellas, and we've created a book club and a support group, both of which meet monthly. We work with Aurora Ministries to give audio Bibles for the Talking Book Player, which don't need to be returned. We're involved with the Florida Council of the Blind and its Pinellas County chapter, the Division of Blind Services, and ride share services such as Care Ride or DART. So these services are all readily available through our network, and libraries should feel comfortable recommending these services to our community. The Talking Book Library program exists as a powerful resource for all Pinellas County to use.
And so thank you for listening to our presentation about the Talking Book Library. Whether you did learn new information or you refreshed on previous knowledge, we are so grateful for your support. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat, or you can always reach out to us via the contact information on this slide. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Okay. All right, Whitney, would you mind monitoring through that chat box? Do we have anything that we need to talk about today? Any questions?
Good. Yeah, Laura asked, I believe there's no waiting for the Bard mobile books. And, you know, Cheryl answered a registered patron would have instant access to a downloaded Bard book.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that is one of the reasons they are very excited about Bard. You know, it is instant. There's no waiting and there's no due date, so they can keep listening as long as they want. You know, and Bard Mobile, it is set up for people with a visual impairment. So one thing I did want to add is, like, you know, Overdrive, you can also download books, but it's very hard to use VoiceOver or JAWS enabled functions with it at sometimes. And so a lot of our patrons do feel more comfortable with this VoiceOver technology on our app that makes it a little more streamlined.
Well, thank you all very much.
Rosa, Whitney, and Megan, thank you all very much for those fabulous presentations. I just wanted to add before I introduce you to your lunch, I just want to add that applications should be available at all of the PPLC member libraries. And if you are at the CERC desk or at the adult services desk and you would like applications or you would like more applications, just let Whitney or Megan know and we will get them to you via the courier, the paper applications, so people can fill them out in person if they like. Any other questions? Diana, are we ready to introduce lunch?
I am ready.
Okay, well, we can have a longer lunch then, which is fabulous. And during lunch, we tossed around like how we could feed you, because at our first staff development day, we fed everybody. Now, some people had wonderful experiences with the food and some people not so wonderful. But that's with any kind of food event that you have. So we take it that way. We can't feed you today. We're very sorry. So I hope everyone brought their brown bag lunch to eat, and hopefully you can gather in your meeting rooms with other staff and watch the very informative and educational and entertaining, inspiring, and humorous video clips that we have for you. After a series of video clips, we're just going to leave you with some peaceful Aboriginal music and artwork from Australia. And I want to announce this thing. So if you are still on, the first person to type in the chat that this is the video that shows poor customer service will win a prize. Everybody got that? There's a prize. So watch the videos, participate with your colleagues, have fun, and enjoy your lunch. And thank you very much.